When we speak of healing, we often think of action, doing something, fixing something, changing something. Yet the deepest form of healing does not come from doing. It arises from being. It is born in stillness. Imagine a pond after a storm. The winds have stirred its waters into chaos, the surface broken, the depths unclear. But when the winds quiet and the air grows still, the ripples slowly fade, and the water becomes clear again. In that stillness, everything within the pond returns to balance. Our body and mind are much the same. When we allow ourselves to stop, truly stop, the body begins to remember its own natural rhythm. The heart softens its pace, the breath becomes deeper and more fluid, and the muscles begin to loosen. The mind, so accustomed to chasing thought after thought, finds that it does not need to run any more. In this space of stillness, the innate intelligence of the body has room to do its work, repairing, regenerating, restoring. Many of us are afraid of stillness because it feels unfamiliar. We have been conditioned to believe that movement equals progress, that silence is emptiness. But silence is not empty, it is full of presence. In that quiet space, you are able to hear the subtler language of your being. You may notice the whisper of your heartbeat, the gentle tide of your breath, the subtle sensations moving through your body. These are not distractions, they are invitations guiding you deeper into awareness. It is in this awareness that tension begins to dissolve. The knots in the body loosen, the restlessness of the mind subsides. Stillness does not push or force, it simply allows. And in that allowance, healing unfolds naturally, without effort. Just as the sun does not strain to warm the earth, you do not need to strain to find balance. It comes to you when you give it space. You can begin this practice in the simplest way by closing your eyes, letting your shoulders drop, and giving yourself permission to do nothing for a few moments. Feel the weight of your body supported by the ground beneath you. Allow the breath to move without control. Let thoughts come and go without chasing them. In these moments, you are not trying to change yourself. You are simply remembering who you are beneath all the noise. It is here, in the quiet embrace of stillness, that gentle healing begins. The breath is our most constant companion, yet it is often the most overlooked. From the moment we are born, breath carries life into us, and until our final moment it sustains us. And yet, in the rush of daily living, we rarely pause to notice it. We breathe shallowly, mechanically, as if it were just another unconscious function. But when we turn our attention to the breath, when we allow it to become slow, deep, and mindful, something extraordinary begins to happen. The body softens, the mind clears, and the heart opens. Breathing is not just a physical act. It is the bridge between body and mind. Each inhale draws in not only oxygen, but also a sense of renewal, a reminder that life is always offering us a fresh moment. Each exhale releases what we no longer need: tension, anxiety, and the weight of thoughts that do not serve us. When we breathe with awareness, we signal to the nervous system that we are safe, that we can rest. Muscles unclench, the heartbeat steadies, and the mind begins to let go of its restless grip. Imagine that with every breath in, you are filling your body with light, energy, and clarity. And with every breath out, you are emptying yourself of heaviness, worry, and old patterns. This exchange is happening within you at every moment, whether you notice it or not. But when you do notice, when you truly feel each inhale and exhale, you step into a state of presence where healing becomes effortless. The beauty of the breath is that it is always here for you. No matter where you are, no matter what you are feeling, it is available as a gentle anchor to the present moment. You can use it to calm the mind before sleep, to ease anxiety in moments of stress, or simply to remind yourself that life is unfolding right here, right now. You don't need to force the breath or shape it into something unnatural. Instead, allow it to return to its natural rhythm, smooth, unhurried, and deep. Let the belly soften as you inhale, and feel the gentle release as you exhale. In these moments, you are not only feeding your body oxygen, you are feeding your entire being a sense of peace and connection. When you honor your breath, you honor life itself, and in that space of reverence, gentle healing flows naturally through you. Within each of us, there are emotions we have carried for years, some that we have named and others we have quietly buried. These unspoken feelings, when left unacknowledged, can live in the body like stones in a river, interrupting the natural flow of our energy. Sometimes they show up as tension in the shoulders, a heaviness in the chest, or an unexplained fatigue. Other times they remain hidden, quietly influencing our thoughts, our choices, and our sense of peace. Healing the body and mind means creating a safe space for these emotions to surface, not to relive them in pain, but to release them with compassion. We often resist this process because we are afraid of what we might find. We fear that if we allow sadness, anger, or grief to come forward, they will overwhelm us. But emotions are like waves. They rise, crest, and fall away when they are allowed to move freely. When we meet them with kindness rather than judgment, they no longer feel like storms to endure, but messages to understand. The act of releasing is not about pushing emotions away or pretending they do not exist. It is about sitting with them gently, as you would with a friend in need. You can close your eyes, take a slow breath, and simply acknowledge, "Yes, I feel this." This simple act of recognition is powerful. It tells the heart that it is safe to let go. The body responds to this safety by relaxing. The mind responds by softening, and the soul feels lighter. In these moments, you may notice memories or sensations arising, and that is perfectly natural. Instead of clinging to them or trying to change them, imagine offering them a space to dissolve. You might visualize them as clouds drifting across the sky or leaves floating down a stream. The imagery doesn't matter as much as the feeling, the gentle permission for them to move on. When emotional blockages are released, the body feels freer, the breath flows more easily, and the mind becomes clearer. What once felt like a constant undercurrent of heaviness is replaced with a quiet spaciousness. It is in that spaciousness that healing energy can move without resistance. By treating your emotions with compassion instead of suppression, you invite the deepest parts of yourself into the light. And when the hidden parts of you are seen and embraced, the path to gentle healing opens effortlessly. The body is more than a vessel that carries us through life. It is an intelligent, living expression of who we are. Every cell, every heartbeat, every sensation is part of a remarkable system designed not only to sustain us but to heal and renew us. Yet so often, we treat the body as if it were separate from our awareness, pushing it beyond its limits, ignoring its quiet requests for rest, nourishment, or care. True healing begins when we turn toward the body with loving awareness, recognizing it as a trusted companion rather than something to control or fix. When we approach the body with gentleness, we begin to notice its subtle language. The tightness in the shoulders may be asking for movement or release. The heaviness in the legs may be asking for rest. The tension in the jaw may be a signal to breathe and let go. These sensations are not inconveniences, they are messages, guiding us toward balance. By listening and responding with kindness, we align ourselves with the body's natural rhythm, allowing itself healing abilities to awaken. This awareness extends to the choices we make every day, moving the body in ways that feel nourishing rather than punishing, eating foods that energize rather than deplete, allowing rest without guilt, and understanding that stillness can be just as vital as activity. Even the simple act of placing a hand over the heart and feeling its steady beat is an acknowledgement, a moment of connection that tells the body, I see you, I am here with you. It is not about perfection or rigid discipline. It is about creating a relationship of trust. When the body knows it will be treated with respect and care, it no longer needs to hold on to tension as protection. Muscles soften, the nervous system settles, and the energy that was once used for defense can be redirected toward renewal. In this way, loving awareness becomes a form of medicine, one without side effects, one that is always available. It is a gentle, ongoing conversation between body and mind, rooted in patience and gratitude. Over time, this conversation deepens, and you begin to feel that the body is not separate from you. It is you. When you live with this understanding, every breath, every movement, and every choice becomes an act of healing. The mind is a powerful force in the process of healing. Every thought we think sends signals to the body, shaping how we feel, how we respond, and even how we recover. When the mind is filled with fear, doubt, or constant worry, the body receives that message and prepares for defense, holding tension and limiting its ability to repair itself. But when the mind is rooted in gratitude, patience, and trust, the body receives a very different instruction, one of safety, openness, and renewal. Cultivating a healing mindset does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending that pain does not exist. It means choosing to direct our focus toward what supports life rather than what diminishes it. Gratitude softens the edges of difficulty, reminding us of what is still beautiful and whole. Patience allows the natural pace of healing to unfold without the pressure of timelines. And trust, the quiet knowing that the body has its own wisdom, creates an inner environment where recovery becomes not just possible, but inevitable. This shift begins in the smallest of moments. It might be taking a pause in the morning to notice the light filtering through the window and feeling thankful for another day. It could be speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a loved one in pain. It might be replacing the thought, I am broken, with I am in the process of becoming whole. Over time, these subtle shifts in language and attention begin to rewire the way we experience ourselves. The mind and body are always in conversation, and the tone of that conversation matters. When the mind sends messages of encouragement, the body responds by releasing stress, improving circulation, and activating its natural repair systems. Even science has shown that hope and optimism can strengthen the immune system and speed recovery. But beyond science, there is the deeper truth that how we feel inside shapes the reality we create around us. By choosing to nurture a healing mindset, we are not denying the presence of difficulty. We are choosing the lens through which we meet it. We are deciding that we will walk through the process with grace instead of resistance, with trust instead of fear. And in doing so, we invite the body to mirror that same openness. When the mind believes in the possibility of healing, the body begins to believe as well, and together they find their way back to wholeness. Healing is not a single moment or a sudden event. It is an ongoing relationship we nurture with ourselves each day. It does not live only in the quiet spaces of meditation or the moments we set aside for rest. It weaves itself into the way we breathe, the way we think, the way we move, and the way we care for our inner and outer worlds. Gentle healing becomes truly powerful when it is not something we visit occasionally, but something we carry into our daily lives like a steady undercurrent. This begins with small, intentional choices. taking a few conscious breaths before stepping into a busy day, pausing to notice the colors of the sky or the scent of fresh air, drinking water slowly and with awareness, as if it is more than hydration. It is a gift to every cell. These small acts of presence might seem simple, yet they signal to the body and mind that we are here, we are attentive, and we are choosing to care for ourselves in this moment. Integrating healing into daily life also means listening closely to what the body and mind need, even when the demands of the world suggest otherwise. It may mean choosing rest over constant activity, or movement over prolonged stillness. It may mean setting boundaries that protect our peace, or creating rituals that anchor us, a morning stretch, an evening reflection, a gentle walk in nature. When these become a natural part of our rhythm, healing stops being something we must remember to do, and instead becomes the way we live. We must also remember that gentle healing is not linear. There will be days when we feel open and light, and others when heaviness returns. But when we have woven small, mindful practices into our everyday life, those fluctuations do not pull us away from ourselves. Instead, they become part of the flow, reminders that healing is not about perfection, but about returning again and again to balance. Over time, these daily moments of awareness and care accumulate. They create a deep sense of stability, like roots growing quietly beneath the surface. The body feels supported, the mind feels steady, and the heart feels at home. Healing becomes less about reaching a final destination and more about walking a path with gentleness and intention. When healing is a way of living, every moment becomes an opportunity to nourish both body and mind.